Give Mohammed Salah whatever he wants to stay at Liverpool. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. I think I started another video like this a few years ago, like that before. But once again, we are talking about this man, Mohammed Salah, whose future is once again in a little bit of doubt after the comments that he made in the aftermath of his dismantling and Liverpool's dismantling of Manchester United at Old Trafford in yesterday's 3-0 victory in the Premier League. We're going to be talking about this Mohammed Salah situation, the contract situation that be. We're going to be talking about other contract situations at Liverpool as well. But before we go any further in discussing all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section below as well. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people. Talk to me on this because I'm sure it is an interesting topic that I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts and opinions on. So please do talk to me. Would love to hear from you all. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk this Mohammed Salah contract situation. So, yesterday was an incredible day on the pitch for Liverpool Football Club. Beating your fierce rivals by 3-0. Manchester United in the mud. It was happy days as far as what Liverpool were concerned. Liverpool were absolutely fantastic. Performances right the way across the pitch were incredible. We didn't even really need to come out of second gear, in all honesty. But at the same time, we were still fairly comfortable enough. And everything was perfect. The likes of Mohammed Salah really did own Old Trafford and Manchester United once again. And Salah himself came out with 3 goal contributions out of 3. With 2 assists and 1 goal in what was a phenomenal display at Old Trafford once again by our Egyptian king. It was truly an incredible day on the pitch for Liverpool Football Club. And it means that obviously Liverpool go into the international break still perfect, still with a 100% record intact. And not only that, but 3 wins out of 3, and also no goals conceded. The only Premier League team to have kept all 3 clean sheets so far this season, and of course, not conceded a single goal. It has been the dream start to life under Arne Slot, and I can't really fault it. We will talk about Liverpool as a performance level in the early stages of the season later on in the international break, I'm sure. But from right now, we are talking about the Mohammed Salah situation, because if there was a particular blip on yesterday, it had to be what Mohammed Salah said in his post-match interview. If there was a particular concerning moment of yesterday, it would be the words of Mohammed Salah in his post-match interview. Salah said, "As you know, it's my last year in the club. I just want to enjoy it. I don't want to think about it. No one in the club has talked to me yet about a contract, so I say it's my last season. New deal is not up to me, but no one has spoken to me at the club." The guy is literally there calling out the club and saying, "I want to stay, but if you don't want me to, I'll easily go." He is calling out the club. He wants to stay. That's my understanding of it anyway. I'm reading that as he wants to stay. But if the club don't make a move, he will happily go. And guess what? The guy may be entering the age of 32, 33, but he's showing no signs of slowing down. He is still going strong. He is still maintaining the absolutely insane levels of consistency that we have seen from Salah these past several years. He is still producing game in, game out at the highest level. He's still contributing goals. He's still contributing assists. He's still contributing chances created. And he is still contributing not just in an attacking sense, but in a defensive sense as well. This is a guy who could go to anywhere in the footballing world right now and still play at a high level, including obviously the likes of Real Madrid, who I'm sure for a year or two will probably be sniffing around, if of course there is no movement on his current contract running out at the end of the season. But here we are with Salah calling out the club, and I love it. I, for one, love that he's called out the club. We've had a very frustrating transfer window as Liverpool fans. Everyone will agree with that. Where we've been annoyed, we've been frustrated. We've basically seen a transfer window in which we've brought in a winger that we didn't necessarily need, but for £10 million, it's probably worth a gamble. But again, didn't really need to beef up that position. There were other areas of the team that should have took priority, but yet we bring in a winger that probably for the money is worth the gamble, and a goalkeeper that we're not going to be using for at least another year or two. It wasn't enough. And we even had our own players in the best goalkeeper in the world, Alisson Becker. We had our own club captain, Virgil van Dijk, and we even had our own starting DM of last season, Wataru Endo, all come out and basically say, we need new signings, we need new blood, we need some new faces, because it will only benefit the team if we do. And yet, we were left with a very underwhelming transfer window that we didn't do enough in, and it's probably seen as a missed opportunity, and will probably be seen as a missed opportunity in hindsight come the end of the season. But they still called out the ownership for or the people in power for not doing enough, or for not bringing in the kind of people that they want. Now, if I'm those players, I'm looking at it and going, we haven't done enough. We haven't done enough in terms of a transfer window. We've not made the statement signings that we should have done. We've not made a statement of intent for the present and for the future of Liverpool Football Club. What are we doing? If I'm those players, that's what I'm looking at. If I'm a fan looking at that from the outside looking in, and a few other fans are looking at that and saying the same thing from the outside looking in, what are the players thinking? Maybe something similar. The fact that Salah's called it out here is incredible. I'm hoping this will be the kick up the backside that they need to maybe shift into gear and maybe start negotiations, because it's not just Salah whose contract runs out at the end of this season, but it's Trent's as well. It's Virgil van Dijk's as well. And all three of them need to get re-signed. We already know Real Madrid are sniffing around Trent, and Van Dijk and Salah probably could go to anywhere and perform at a top level. They are still playing incredibly well. They are still got so much to offer, and they could go anywhere they want within the footballing world. And I know that FSG and Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are awkward about negotiating with players that are entering into their 30s or in their 30s, mid-30s. But Van Dijk and Salah are here for the present and for the future, and they can offer so much to Liverpool for the here and now, as well as a couple of years down the line. There is so much for these two players in particular to offer. Trent, obviously, is a no-brainer. We definitely need to tie that one up. But for these two, we definitely need that kind of thing to start taking shape in the very, very, very near future. Salah calling it out right now is brilliant. I love it. I really do. I love that he's basically not messed around. He's basically gone. In my opinion, he's basically saying, I want to stay. I want to stay. But if they don't want me to, there's been no movement from them. So I'm kind of leaning more towards the direction of they don't want me here. In which case, I'll leave. And this is my last season. And if that is the case, you thought Liverpool fans were angry, frustrated and annoyed this past summer. You haven't seen nothing yet. If this backfires, because this is playing with fire right now, the fact that we've left it this long already is incredible. If we leave it any longer, that's going to be even worse. That's going to be even worse for FSG, for Michael Edwards, for Richard Hughes. They're playing with fire right now. I'm hoping the international break offers an opportunity for maybe contract negotiations to maybe open with these kinds of players. But it is a very dangerous and very fragile situation that we need to handle with care. Because Salah's not slowing down anytime soon. Salah's already had an incredible start to the season. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists already. Salah's been incredible to start off this season. Doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon. In my opinion, he's well within the conversation of being the GOAT of the Premier League. Well within that conversation. A lot of people will say Henry. I think he's moving ever closer. The longer that he stays in the Premier League, I think he's moving ever closer to that conversation. And I don't think a lot of people can argue with that. The guy is still incredible. The guy is still producing on a freakishly insane basis. Game in, game out. Season in, season out. He reaches incredible levels of consistency. He continues to even raise the bar for himself and for others that come after him. The guy is insane. And yet, we could have another missed opportunity on our hands by not tying him down to a new deal, by not keeping him at the club longer. Give you a few examples. Toni Kroos and Luka Modric still going strong within their mid-30s, playing for Real Madrid, still winning trophies left, right and centre, still performing at the highest level. Absolutely incredible on them. Robert Lewandowski, a similar age to Mohammed Salah when he was in the Bundesliga, had one of his best, or the best, season in the Bundesliga at that time. Record-breaking Robert Lewandowski. Karim Benzema, similar age, maybe a little bit older than what Salah is right now, won the Ballon d'Or. I know they're different positions to Salah. I know Salah's a winger, but at the same time, the point still remains. Salah can continue to reach heights of consistency and maybe even raise the bar for himself even. But we need to keep him. We need to keep him. This isn't FIFA. This isn't Football Manager. Just because he's in his 30s doesn't mean he's past it. Doesn't mean he's massively on the decline. Doesn't mean he's over the hill. It just means he's getting older. That's it. And with the way that sports science continues, and with the way that Mohammed Salah has kept both his body in incredible condition and his mindset in elite condition, the guy is still phenomenal. The guy is still insanely good, and the guy continues to be consistent. I'm hoping and I'm praying that him calling it out will get them people to start opening negotiations, not just for him, but for Trent as well, and for obviously Virgil van Dijk. I'm hoping that will be the case, but I'm worried that the longer we leave this, the more volatile and the more fragile this could really become. It really, really could. Salah's basically saying, in my opinion, he wants to stay. In my opinion, what he said there in them quotes that I mentioned earlier in the video, I think he's saying that he wants to stay, but it's not up to him, it's up to the club. And I don't understand what the club are messing around at, particularly when you see the kind of performances that he's dropped so far this season. The way he runs and owns Manchester United and Old Trafford should basically be enough. And like I say, if you think this summer was full of angry and annoyed and frustrated Liverpool fans, you best not mess up these situations, because if you do, they'll come at you 10 times worse, 100 times worse, 1,000 times worse. Don't mess this up. Give him whatever he wants. More money, his own private jet, private island, whatever the hell this guy wants. Give it him. He has earned it. He deserves it. And Liverpool, for the present and for a few years down the line for the future, are set. With Mohammed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Arne Slot. They are set. That's just the way that I see it anyway. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this Mohammed Salah situation? Where do you think his footballing future will lie? Do you think Liverpool will open negotiations soon? or do you think he is destined to leave on a free at the end of his current contract? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comment section. Use and abuse that section, people, with your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always incredibly greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll soon speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.